over the line for Monday, September. What is today? The 22nd.
22nd, yeah. Yesterday was the 21st day of September. That was the Earth, Wind, and Fire lyric.
I found out one thing, Tracy.
What?
So we're going to do this music just for a couple of seconds as I introduce us, and then I'm going to bring it back down, and I'll explain to you what the problem is today. But it's not a bad problem. So we got Dallas, went to Chicago. We'll talk about that. The bigger egg that was laid, we can't even talk about really the Cowboys Chicago, is the Packers 7.5 point favorites. 7.5 point favorites losing to the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, that's bad, Tracy. Bad.
That's bad. Yeah,
really bad. And so we got to really talk about this because this is our week. This is our week that we should have been both coming off wins and getting ready for Sunday night, the big game. That's between me and you.
Yep.
We should have been on this one. And here's my thing. I'm gonna go first this week because I always let you go first about your Cowboys, but I'm gonna go first. All right.
Okay.
These pundits on TV that talk about just like we're doing right now. Okay. I'm gonna call a couple of them out.
Uh-oh.
All right. Jordan Love made a bad interception. All right. I agree with you. But the people that say that Tucker Kraft was open down the middle, you're not looking at the whole play at all. Tucker Kraft was open, but when Jordan Love made the first move with his arm, he had to have that ball gone then. He couldn't wait because the guy from the right side of the defense was coming. Now, he decided to throw underneath. It was a horrible. It was. But as you know, you watch Dak. I've watched Aaron Rodgers. I watched Brett Favre throw some bad ones. They throw some bad ones. That's his first interception in 9 games. All right, Dan Orlovsky said, quote, has to grow up, has to learn from that throw. Well, Dan, I'm in a goddamn wheelchair, and you know what? I know that you shouldn't run off the field through the end zone because it's a safety. Why didn't you learn from that? That's what I want to know.
That's what's funny about Dan Orlovsky because he was not very good at quarterback, but apparently he knows everything.
He knows everything now. Cam Newton, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Why aren't you in the league any longer? Because you couldn't even throw it 10 yards anymore.
Tony Romo.
Romo.
Yeah.
I like Tony Romo, though.
I did too, but Orlovsky in particular, you want to talk about someone who has no pelts on the wall whatsoever? You played at UConn. You stepped out of the end zone with Detroit. You had a short career, and now you're the expert. Okay.
Well, he says that he had a long career because he was a backup for 13 or 10 years.
Okay.
And here's another guy that I know you watch a lot, and I don't know why. I don't trust Jordan Love. How can I trust him? You know what? Stephen A. Smith, I don't trust you. When did you play the damn game? You're about as good as I am sitting here.
He's going to run for public office, so he's fine.
Man.
Yeah.
So here we go. It's, the Packers. Who gets the blame? When your end around play is run 5-6 times a game, and if that's your most creative play in your playbook for the defense that the Cleveland Browns have, you don't deserve to be a coach in the NFL because that's a high school play. I'm so sick of these people, and I'm so sick of after the games. You think that Jerry Jones is something after the game? Watch a Matt LaFleur post-game conference where he says, oh, that's on me. That's on me. He knows that he doesn't want to – he says that, but his ego in the background is saying, that really wasn't on me. And now he blames his coaches that they're not on the same page. Tracy, he's the damn head coach. That comes from him if they're not on the same page.
Yep.
What in the world? I can't believe that the people are giving him a pass on his record as a head coach is so inflated because of 2 years with a guy that was an MVP. That's why his record is as good as it is. 10-0 it was. It started the fourth quarter. They say the defense was doing such a great job. And I'm so sick of this. They're looking for anything about Micah Parsons to rip on him.
Yep.
But I counted them, 10 plays. Micah had 3 people on him. Where's the other damn players?
Yeah, exactly.
Cleveland, you can double team Garrett, but guess what? Those other guys are getting to the quarterback. And don't tell me that the defensive backfield is horrible when you can't get a rush on a 40-year-old man back there that hasn't thrown anything.
Yep.
10-0, they start the fourth quarter. Defense had some breakdowns, definitely. Penalties. And that's another thing. How do you continue to get penalties with false starts and offsides with your helmet? I mean, come on.
Hey, all they got to do is run the tush push and then won't call it.
That team is unfocused, undisciplined. The performance was horrible. 14 penalties. That says it all right there. That tells you that they have no focus and the discipline is horrible. Well, where does the discipline come from?
Head coach.
Head coach.
Coach Hottie.
I don't know how much of the Packers you watched. I know you watched the last few years, some. Have you ever seen LaFleur make an in-game adjustment? I've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
To where if something's not running, if it's not working, well, let's go to a different one. No, he continues to run that damn end around, no matter if it's working or not. And and it proved in the Dallas game, you're going to get your wide receiver killed on those end arounds if you're not blocking.
Yes, let's line up our wide receiver at running back. That's a great idea, but we'll get to that.
And I like this guy, Bisaccia, that coaches our special teams. But he's the highest paid special teams coach in the NFL, was supposed to fix our special teams problems. He hasn't done a damn thing to fix them. Now, is it because of the talent he has? Maybe. Then go out and get some people that can run down the field and tackle. And that doesn't cause a bunch of these foolish penalties.
I think there's a lot of special teams coaches that are on the hot seat today. Blocked kicks and stuff like that. Come on, man. I've never seen Sunday in the NFL where it's happened that many times.
The one thing we got to remember in Green Bay as a Packer fan, we don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore.
No, he's gone.
We're not going to have those 6 interceptions for the full year. Jordan Love is more of a Brett Favre. He's going to take a chance. He doesn't have the talent. I still don't think he has the arm talent that Aaron Rodgers has. But these people that complained about Aaron Rodgers, well, guess what? You got now this guy. And how in the world can you make a decision on this guy after one throw? He hadn't thrown an interception in 9 games. And you're basing that one throw? Well, why didn't the defense stop them from going down and getting a field goal? Why don't we talk about that? Because they all got to support each other, right? If one's not working, you got to stop them. Here's something I want you to think about this one. Brown's offense went like this: 8 plays, 30 yards. 3 plays, 6 yards. 6 plays, 13 yards. 9 plays, 37 yards. 3 plays, minus 8 yards. 6 plays, 20 yards. 7 plays, 15 yards. 12 plays, 63. 1 play, 4. 6 plays, 16 yards. And you can't win? You can't win? That's not the defense fault. It's the offense. We should have been scoring points after every one of these. And that's not that offensive line. Here's another thing for you. That offensive line is coached by Dick Butkus' nephew. I don't care about Dick Butkus' nephew. Dick Butkus was a great linebacker. His nephew stinks as an offensive line coach. The only time the Packers had an offensive line coach that did something was when that Stenovich, that's the offensive coordinator now, was the offensive line coach, and that was Elgin Jenkins' first year. That offensive line was a great offensive line, and it was because of him. Fire him as the OC and get him back as the offensive line coach. Or better yet, fire LaFleur and put Stenovich in as head coach for the rest of the year.
You going to do it now?
I'd do it now.
Dang, that's crazy. That's why a GM.
But why continue to go through this? Because you're going to ruin this year with this kind of play calling, and LaFleur's not taking any responsibility. He's got it. You can't get up there and say, "Oh yeah, that's on me," every week. "Oh yeah, that's on me." Why is it on you? You're the coach. You got guys up in the press box looking at the defense.
But you know what? That's just an excuse, because they're not going to. They say it's on them, but they're just taking the heat off everybody else.
Well,
they're
he's not
throwing anybody else under the bus, and it is old. It's every coach does it. Oh, that's on me. I got to get better prepared. Well, no shit. You know, I know you're not playing the game, but what coach is going to call out a player or another coach or a unit of the offense or defense or whatever? You know, so they say that's just to appease the media and us.
So here you go.
He took it. It's all me. It's all me.
So here you go. So they get the game against Dallas. All right, we watched Dallas yesterday.
Oh boy!
All right, that man-to-man defense. Now I know why Eberflus was fired in Chicago. I think he was, and I don't even know if it's his fault. I think it's a talent fault there with Jerry bringing in some of the people that he's brought in. I truly believe that if you're going to play a defense, you got to get your talent in there. Did Eberflus have that chance to do that in 1 year? Probably not.
No.
But they looked horrible.
Yes.
Looked horrible.
Absolutely.
So tell me this, Tracy. So the Packers go into Dallas this week, okay? Say they have a great game and they score 40 points. Are the Green Bay Packers fixed?
For the week.
Exactly.
But hey, you want any quarterback to look like an MVP candidate, just play Dallas.
There you go. And there's no reason why a team continues with the talent that they have in the Packers that you continue to play for field goals. Throw that ball in the end zone. Let's get going. You got a wide receiver group that is a good group. Now everybody says, "Oh, we got to wait until, Reed comes back and, Watson." Well, guess what? For the last year, we've been talking about how soft Watson was, all these fans and the people in Green Bay radio. You can't have it both ways. Now you can't blame everything because Christian Watson's, on the injured list. Oh, we need his speed. That's what we're waiting for. Get him back so we have him and Golden on the same. You got enough now. You got Dobbs. You got Golden. You got two tight ends that should be downfield. This is ridiculous to sit there and blame on and not make it the head coach's fault. I'll tell you who's taking notes, and you know this yourself, is the guy sitting up there in the press box for the Green Bay Packers. Brand new CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Policy. Where did he grow up in? The San Francisco 49ers of the 80s and 90s. You think he's not taking notice of that head coach when he had Bill Walsh? When he knows about Bill Walsh? And he knows about all those assistant coaches that went on to Mike Holmgren? I mean, you can go through the whole coaching staff. They basically had head coaching jobs. You don't think this guy knows and he's not listening? They had a shot of them last week. Goody and him. Split screen. Each in different booths. It's looked like, the suites. Looked like completely they hated each other. That's what it looked like. So something needs to be done. And because what's the old saying that you always talk about? If you continue
the best
to do
predictor of the future is the past.
Is the past, but if you continue to do the same thing over and over and over, and that's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making everybody insane because even a guy like me sitting on my couch can see this. Now, Stephen A. can say, well, you never played the game. No, you didn't either.
Yeah, that's true.
And Dan Orlovsky, you played the game, and yeah, you watch a lot of film, but why don't you watch it the right way and look at all of it? Not just look at what it's a bad throw and, oh my God, he's got to learn from it. Did you learn not to run out of the end zone when you had the ball in your hand?
Well, he's so good at watching film because he did so much of it as a backup.
Well, maybe that's it. And I like Dan. I think I think he's great as far as, going on the McAfee show and ESPN. I think he was one of the guys they had to keep at ESPN. But just have a take, yes, but at least be honest about it and don't sit there and say that you know everything. And we really don't know where that play was supposed to go first. We really don't. LaFleur said, yeah, it's on me or whatever, but did the wide receiver not move? Did he not come in closer when he made his break? There could be a whole bunch of things. That was the nice thing about Rodgers. When the receivers did something wrong, you knew it because he was coming off the field talking about it. And Jordan Love I don't think he has that fire. That's the one thing I think he needs to get is a little bit of fire under him. The continuing throwing off his back foot, he's not Aaron. Stop it. I know you watched Aaron for 3 years, but you got to stop. Got to be Jordan Love. Can't be Aaron Rodgers. So there's my Packer take. And what do they got to do? It doesn't make a difference what they do in Dallas because Dallas is having problems. Jerry still thinks yesterday afternoon that they're a playoff team after watching that yesterday. He made Caleb Williams look like Joe Montana.
Yeah, he's in the MVP race now. Put him up there.
And how can you
Russell Wilson, what he did to him last week? I think, man, if you're worried about the Packers, just wait till Monday of next week, and you feel a whole lot better about them.
And how can you sit there and say that a team is not going to make the playoffs or make, last week the Packers were going to win the Super Bowl. Everybody had them as favorites with going to the championship game in the NFC with the Eagles. Now they lose to the Browns, who has, I don't care what anybody's, watch the Browns. They have a great defense. They got a great defense. How do you take one game and say, okay, nope, their season, no, this is horrible. This is, they got to patch it up. And that's why I say, LaFleur is our problem. And hopefully at the end of the year, the only thing that saves his job is if they do win the NFC championship. I'm not saying the Super Bowl. I just don't, you just can't continue to have these offensive penalties. Defensively too, but offense is his baby. That's his. And he's got to clean it up. He's got to clean it up. That offensive line, now Zach Tom, they played him for one. Did you see they played him for one play? And the oblique went out again. Why play him? Where's your doctors on that? I know their doctor. I had their doctor as my doctor at one time. Where's Doc McKenzie on there saying, hey, he shouldn't be playing? Now you ruined him. Now he's out again, probably who knows how long this time. And that Morgan from that number 1 draft pick, he's the one that cost them the field goal being blocked. Dan, he let his guy get up in the air, punch him in the gut, get him bent over, something.
Easy.
He had the holding. He had the, false starts. I mean, Cooper DeJean looks a little bit better right now as a pick that should have been happened. It should have been the Green Bay pick instead of that.
What?
Can you find a 5th round draft pick, Tracy, to play offensive line?
I think I'm going to make him a Cajun. I'm calling him Cooper DeJean. That's what it should be. Cooper DeJean. Jeff, listen, I'm going to be your friend right now. I know it's not normal for me to be your friend, but I'm going to be your friend. All right. You beat the Lions, you beat the Commanders. You put up 27 points against both of them. Could we say that maybe this is just one of those letdown games and they get right against Dallas, which doesn't bode well for us? But I will say this. If by some miracle Dallas beats Green Bay, then then I'd be like, okay, what's up? Because that first month of the season, we don't know what any teams are. No one's crowned yet. No one's won the Super Bowl.
Right.
I'm getting a picture of what the Cowboys look like. But for you, in order to polish the turd, I would look at those two games. Think of the caliber that the Lions are and the Commanders. Those are tough. Those are tough teams in the NFC. All right, they're going to the play.
Yep.
So you beat those teams, you feel really good about yourselves. Then you go up against the lowly Browns. Maybe they were just looking past it. I'm not discrediting anything that you said, including the way you feel and the way I've seen LaFleur coach and some of the issues that are there. You guys have a lot of talent, but maybe just to help you feel better, they just look past it.
Well, when you start talking after 2 games that you're going to the Super Bowl or you're going undefeated, that you're looking past the next game.
That is true.
All right?
Yeah.
And here's another penalty that you watched in Dallas after we watched it for years. Why is it so hard to get a play in fast?
I don't know.
They have so many times they have to take a timeout because Jordan Love didn't get the play from the sideline. Why? And where's Jordan Love's IQ? Does he know that he can switch plays? Does he know that he can, call an audible? Does he know what an audible is?
Yes, he does. Give him credit.
I mean, but you watched McCarthy.
Well, Jeff.
Watched McCarthy for years in Green Bay that didn't know how to get a play in, and Rodgers would get mad. And you watched it in Dallas. It's a Green Bay problem, and I don't know why, but it needs to be fixed, and that's the head coach.
Yeah.
So I'm done with the Packers on that, but I'm just saying that if they go to Dallas and they win big, in my mind, that doesn't fix the Green Bay Packers because you got to look at the competition now, especially if the Cowboys played like they did yesterday in Chicago, the defense. All right. Because now you got to remember, we still have to play against Dak and the guys. Now, I don't know what's going on with CD, if he's out or in or whatever, but, there's another thing. Why run that? There's no reason to run him at that point.
Don't be cute. Do not be cute. I think when you run cute plays like that, that's just an excuse for not having good plays, period.
Right. So, where the Packers go from here, yeah, they can beat Dallas. I don't see Dallas how they're gonna get their defense ready, but we'll see. But you're right. If they lose to Dallas by any chance, then we have problems. And then what I'm saying today is going to be really highlighted next Monday about LaFleur, because now you're in trouble. So I'm anxious to see what you got to say about the Cowboys yesterday with the Bears. I hate the Bears. Everybody knows I hate the Bears. I hate the Lions. I hate the Vikings. But I'll tell you what, you made the Bears look like they're winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
That's how good Williams looked to me. He looked like he could beat anybody yesterday.
Oh, boy. I really don't know where to start. Let's start offensively. Let's start the first quarter. You have a good drive going. Miles Sanders fumbled in the first game. Okay, cool. Well, maybe Javonte Williams will be a little more careful with the ball. Nah, man. That brother got the ball taken away. They just stole his lunch money. I'm like, what the hell? And then you talk about momentum in a game. You have a nice drive. And listen, one of the positives, and there weren't many, we are running the ball pretty well. But you got to hold on to the ball. So those drives, Jeff, when you're running the ball and you're imposing your will on the other team, and you feel good. You're like, oh, yeah, this is how you start a game. We're flexing. We're like, yeah. Then you fumble. Then your butthole puckers a little bit. And then you start playing safe. And then you start doing stupid crap, like lining up CeeDee Lamb as a running back.
Yep.
And he sustains a high ankle sprain, which could be 4 to 6 weeks. He thinks he can play next week. We'll see. It's on the long end, it's going to be 6 weeks, and short, maybe he plays. I don't know. But I'm thinking.
For a dumb play, for a stupid play.
That gained nothing. Plus, there was a penalty on it. So it offsetting penalties. So You lost a player for that. So
your best player.
yeah. But you think, okay, well, Pickens was a 1 at Pittsburgh. Cool. Well, you know what? We're back to what we were last season, where you covered CD and that maybe helped Tolbert or maybe got Turpin going or whatever. All right, so Pickens is the RW1, WR1. He's wide receiver 1.
Okay.
But you might want to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Now, he did have a nice catch in the end zone, but, the one where it got popped up in the second half and it was an interception, and clearly Pickens was mad. I get it. But our offensive line is not healthy, as you know, because Hoffman was taking over BB. We still have issues there. As far as looking at sides of the ball, I think Dak played okay, but once again, you're playing from behind. You cannot execute your game plan at that point. You're playing from behind and you're forced to throw. Our biggest target was freaking our tight end, Ferguson. Whatever the Bears did, they eliminated the receivers. So Ferguson had I don't know how many catches he had, but he was the most consistent receiver we had, But I don't know about Ferguson. I want him to have that explosive play like Travis Kelce Kelce, he's kind of on the downhill side of his career. But like Kittle, yes, Kittle's hurt. But we don't have a tight end like that is going to catch a ball in the seam and just take it to the house. I just don't know. Maybe he's never, to me, met expectations. He's been okay, but he's never been one of those tight ends that takes the top off, So our running game, it was good, but you can't run when you're down. So We missed going into the second half. We left too much time on the clock, and what happens? The Bears score. Even though we're getting the ball back in the second half. You can't let them score. You got to get at least 3 points. You got freaking Aubrey back there who can kick it a mile. You get it to the 50, you got a shot for 3 points at least.
Especially with that guy.
And so offensively, I don't know, man. We do not have – I think Dak has good control of the game plan. But when that gets changed, maybe that's a Schottenheimer thing. You got the game plan and things go a little squirrely. Then you start adjusting, and then that's where it really falls apart. I don't think we protected Dak very well either. That goes back to the offensive line. So defensively, oh boy, the Deron Bland injury, like I said last week, is playing out worse than I expected because you thought Trayvon would be healthy. He's not healthy.
He's not.
He got juked out of his shoes, man. He tried to chip at the line of scrimmage, lost his footing, and gets smoked. Then, on the flea flicker, if you look at that, I know you saw the play, the pitch back to Caleb Williams, it was kind of a floater. Well, when you watch the replay, the corner totally stopped on the play. The Bears receiver kept running. That's how it worked. Look at that again. The minute that the ball was pitched back to Caleb Williams, it was kind of a floater, like I said.
Right.
The corner takes a second off. He's not in pursuit. That's all it took to get the clearance for that to be a touchdown. And yeah, you could say, oh man, they're running trick plays. Well, they're working, and that's classic Ben Johnson. That's what he does. That's what he did in Detroit.
But that's the only week, though, that they work.
Well, yeah. But we got no sacks on Caleb Williams. 0. Now, we did a little bit better job stopping the run. But you know what? Why run the ball if you're going to smoke us on long and big plays? You're going to gash us in the secondary. Hey, good job. You stopped the run, but we can't cover anybody. And, Donovan Wilson, oh, boy, I don't know what's going on. And maybe it is this system that Eberflus is running, because it's the same personnel they had last year. Now, were they great last season? No, but I don't think we got burned on big plays like that. I don't think we let mid quarterbacks look like MVPs. I think we did a better job. And it's the same personnel. Once again, is Trayvon healthy? I don't think he is. But I don't think we have the help. The safety help isn't there. Hopefully, Deron Bland comes back next week. We'll see. We don't have an edge rusher. Yeah, we signed Jadeveon Clowney. He didn't play. But you think Jadeveon Clowney's going to be – first of all, it's funny when in his press conference last week he said, I'm not Micah Parsons. Well, no shit. We know that. Because if you were Micah Parsons, you'd still be somewhere playing and you wouldn't be on the couch. So will it help? Yes, it'll help with Jadeveon coming back. But, man, defensively, and I think it goes back to the coach, like you were saying. I don't know about Eberflus, man. Like, how can you have those? We didn't have – this is the second game in a row where we had defensive breakdowns in the secondary. And I didn't recall that last season. Of course, it was Zimmer last season. Eberflus. Man, I don't have a lot of confidence in that cat. And how can – Jeff, you could have gotten wide open, I don't know what kind of breakdowns we had. But when you're not pressuring the quarterback, he can just do whatever he wants. And go figure, Caleb Williams, he has a record day. Right. So
he looked great. But it's going to be interesting now this week if Jordan Love's going to be judged the same way if he comes out and does the same thing to Dallas. I think at that point you don't look at the player that's putting up the big points. I think at that point you got to look at your competition and say, all right, that's not a really good judge right now to what this team's going to be like. But 1 loss, 2 losses, even 3 losses, if you can somehow get these players to buy into the system, and maybe that's what's going on in Dallas. Maybe they're just not buying into Eberflus. I don't know. He was a pretty good guy when he was in Indianapolis.
Schottenheimer, I like his energy, but he's also new to this.
Right.
This first time, he's been offensive coordinator and calling plays. But, man, when you're running the ball well, you don't need gadget plays.
No.
And I get, to me, yeah, okay, give the ball to Turpin on an end around. Yeah, that's fine. But not CD lined up at running back. Gee,
tell you what, that Turpin can run.
He can. But you can't get the ball to him, Right. 14 points is what we scored, man. Come on now.
Yeah.
And
that, I didn't even talk about that with the Packers. Here we have Josh Jacobs, a great runner, and we can't get him going at all, Tracy. Not even with a 10-0 game that we're ahead for 3 quarters, and we didn't do nothing with him because the offensive line stinks or because LaFleur doesn't want – I don't know what it is. But I think it all has to start with the head coach. And in Dallas, I think it just has to – you hate to say it, but Jerry is just sticking his nose where he doesn't belong.
Well, he's done that
forever. And where has it got him since he's done it? You had a dynasty with Jimmy Johnson that he ruined.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The thing about Jerry is that, he was the maverick. He was the gambler.
He was, yep.
He's not anymore. And it's not encouraging because his son's going to be the same thing. It's like a clone of him. I think his son might be a little dumber than him. Because
I just don't know if you can, on our situation here, is if you can really say that the Cowboy game, if the Packers score 40 or have a great game, and they're fixed. Because I don't think they're fixed.
It'll help you feel better, though. Hey, you're welcome, Jeff. You feel way better next Monday.
And I'll tell you what, if the Cowboys beat the Packers, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, that will be tough for you. I guarantee it will be.
When do you head to Louisiana?
Not until the second week of October.
Oh, okay. All right.
But, oh, man, even if by miracle we pull something out, man, yeah, you'll feel good for a little while. But there are definitely problems, man. Like, I wanted to see my expectations for the last 2 games, and this is my concern. We played it. The best game so far we played was against Philadelphia.
Right.
That was the best game we played. Since then, yeah, we beat the Giants. Cool. We should have beaten them way, it should have been worse. It shouldn't have even been that close.
Right.
And then you're playing Bears. All right, cool. This is when, that's what I was thinking as I'm preparing for the game, getting ready to watch it. All right, this is when I want to see everything click. We need to see things start clicking. Hopefully, our offense is doing well, scoring. Defense is getting stops, putting pressure, maybe getting some turnovers, something like that. And when that doesn't happen, you're like, oh, wow. So I didn't see that. So I'm still waiting. And I don't know if they're going to get it together against Green Bay.
The thing
it sure
that
doesn't look like they will.
The thing that scares me, though, is that as bad as some people bash him, and I was one, Dak still has it in him to carry a team. If they can get a little defense, he has a chance, and we've seen it where he lights it up. And if he lights it up against the Packers, watch out. Because I don't know in the LaFleur offense if we can keep up with somebody that's going to score 40.
I don't think we can score 40.
What did you score against the Giants?
But that was in overtime. We had to because our defense wasn't stopping anybody.
That's what I'm talking about. Because Packers got injuries.
Huh?
Packers got injuries now.
Well, yeah, we do too.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. That's Sunday night, and I don't know if that's really a Sunday night game, but oh well. I guess it's because everybody had the Packers going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's a Sunday night game.
And I'm not a fan of, although I pick on you about it, I'm not a fan of the Eagles. I don't like the Eagles. But, everybody's sitting there saying that Hurts is the best quarterback. Well, I could be the quarterback in that offense if I had that offensive line. In my chair, I could be the quarterback. Because I'd have 8, 9
I will say this, man. When you have a team, and it showed that they have won a Super Bowl and been to a couple of Super Bowls with that coaching staff and those players. That's how good teams win games. They don't just trip into those. Yeah, it was closer than it should have been. But when you have a 40-yard field goal, something like that, and the Rams are lining up for it, and that kicker had already had one blocked earlier.
Right.
So as a defense, special teams, we've gotten to them before. So the Rams, man, they should have been a little bit better because it happened the same way, right in the middle.
Right.
And not only that, but it gets returned for a touchdown. Now, that's going to be a bad beat. I'm sure that was a bad beat last night on Scott Van Pelt because here you are. Well, I don't know what the over-under total. I don't know that crap, but boy, that's the type of game where people lose a lot of money.
Yep. Well, I think the Eagles were built the right way where they concentrated on their defensive line and they concentrated on their offensive line. And then everything else they pieced around it. And I know
that Brown, he wasn't getting a lot of touches, but he made up for it yesterday.
Yeah.
And man, I just love Saquon, and I guess I'm getting soft, but I'm more of a fan of players now than teams.
Right.
And man, I just love Saquon's story. And a good friend of mine, Jamal Singleton, is the running backs coach for the Eagles, which still hurts a little bit because Jamal's a great dude. Went to Air Force, paid for Air Force, and he's moved up through the coaching ranks. It's great to see a friend on TV, but man, you hate it that he's for the Eagles. But
see, that's the way I think about you.
For him, I was happy for him.
That's exactly how I feel about you when I see you on the TV drumming with your boss. It's like, man, really? I love Tracy, but I hate that he's a Cowboy fan.
Yeah. I hate that I'm a Cowboy fan too.
What did Today we went just to YouTube, and I know this is going to be a little bit of because I've been checking on the on FaceTime. I did put all that not on FaceTime, on Facebook. I did put all the links and everything on the Facebook and Twitter. I'm sorry, X. But so I want to push everything to YouTube. So after we get off, I'm gonna push everything to YouTube, and it's probably going to take a little bit to get some people clicking on the little link from the Facebook and everywhere else. But to find us on YouTube, and I'll always be able to put the link for the Facebook for the YouTube. But what we need you to do once you're in YouTube, once you watch this later or whenever you pick this up, you got to like and share, because that's how we're going to build this.
Yes.
So,
and we got to get our sponsors happy.
And we got to get the sponsor. So what is, I was going to ask you that because we should have started out with that. Your sponsors this week, because I got one this week.
Oh, man, as you know, this is my go-tos. Soulscribe, follow Smoke207 on Whatnot, my boy Brian Lally, and Ace Pickleball Company. Will Jameson down there at Ace Pickleball Company. Make the best paddles in the business. I played for the first time in probably 4 months. I will say that it was about the same as it was 4 months ago, but I think I broke one habit, and this could be a technical thing, but for me, I have a problem. I have a lot of problems, but when I'm going to hit the ball, I want to go overhand like this. Okay.
Right.
But for some reason, when it goes to my left side, I want to hit like a backhand, and that's no bueno.
Okay.
And another habit, when you go up to the kitchen line, now we're getting really technical.
Right.
But there's a part of the game called dinking. It's where you're just hitting the ball over, and you stay out of the kitchen. Unless it bounces, then you can step into the kitchen. But if it doesn't bounce and you step into the kitchen, it's a fault. So what I started doing was I had my paddle too low. So I was getting smoked at the kitchen line. So for whatever reason, and I know, and if anyone's played pickleball, they're like, bro, that's like the first rule, but I'm hard-headed. So for the first time ever, I kept my paddle up at the kitchen line, and I played a lot better. And get this, you know what getting body bagged is in pickleball?
No.
That's when you smoke someone, like you hit them.
Oh, okay.
Guess who I body bagged on Saturday?
Oh boy, who?
My wife.
Did she go home, take the racket and go home?
Nope.
No.
She took it like a man.
Really?
But that's the only way I can get away with hitting her and not getting in trouble. So, but yeah, Ace Pickleball, look them up. Ace Pickleball Company, best paddles in the business, and Soulscribe, look up. So, on Whatnot, Smoke207, get you some clean kicks. Hey, did you get those Packers Jordans yet?
I think I didn't get anything, so I just want to let you know.
Oh,
but I am friends now with Brian.
They might be on the way.
I'm friends now with Brian on Facebook, and we're following each other on X. So I'm going to get in on the on some of those.
Good.
All right. So we have them.
It shouldn't be that big of a deal because you only need one.
I have one. Okay. I have one sponsor, and it's the Log Den in Door County, Wisconsin. The Log Den, the best food in Door County, the best Sunday brunch from 9 till 2 every Sunday. The best Sunday brunch, like 30 plus items on the board. You get soup and salad bar. You get desserts. You get everything at the Log Den.
Don't eat those desserts, man. You know, you got the diabetes.
It's on Highway 42 in Egg Harbor, which is your favorite place. Look at that. Look at that. Egg Harbor, Wisconsin. Tracy's favorite place in Door County. If you haven't been to Door County, Wisconsin, look it up on the map. We're the thumb. All right. That's Door County, that whole thumb, basically. And we're right there. And it's got water on both sides. It's called the Cape Cod of the Midwest. And the Log Den is the best place to go for food, for the scenery. This place is something else. It's a hand built by the family, by the Lautenbach family. The building took their own logs out of their own woods and built this place. It's amazing. So come out. You got to come out to the log den. Like I said, Sunday brunch. I think they still have for another month or so. They still have, or maybe not. Maybe it's only a couple more weeks. The Friday night fish boils. Everybody loves that in Door County, where they put the fish in a big old tub, just like they do down in Louisiana with the crawfish. They put the onions.
Yeah, you said it right. Yes.
They put the old potatoes in there, butter, cook it all up, and then you get to eat that. So I don't, but they do that. Yeah. So it's the Log Den. Make sure you check them out. That's my only sponsor this week, but I'm working on it. I'm working to get some more. And where we're going to see this is basically, it's kind of like a in-kind thing where they're just going to feed me when I go out there for bench,
Same here, bro. So hey, I was wearing a logged in shirt the other day.
Really?
At Kroger. Yeah, and this guy, one of the dudes that pushes the carts in,
yeah,
he's like, "Hey, you know how to build a log cabin?" I was like, "No, I want to build a log cabin." He said, "I saw your shirt and it said logged in." I was like, "Yeah, it's a restaurant place up in Wisconsin." "Yeah, man, I want to build a log cabin." All right, good talk.
Any other games over the weekend that stuck out? Indianapolis. Danny Dimes, I don't know. I still don't think he's a great quarterback.
No. It's not Danny Dimes anymore, dude. It's Indiana Jones. Let's get it right.
Indiana Jones. Okay. All right. So
and I prefer that over Danny Dimes. Like, rarely does a guy get a dumb nickname and it doesn't stick, and then you actually get a better nickname. And he looks like an all-pro. Put him in the conversation. Indiana Jones. But they also played the Titans, who are absolutely horrible.
Horrible. So you really don't know where they're at. And then you have Tampa, still undefeated. And
hey, you know what? You know what? I've decided. I'm getting on the Baker train. Let's go.
Yes. There you go.
I'm on it. Yep.
You know what I like about Baker? You know what I like about him? In his post-game comments, when they asked him about, the Jets and everything, and he said, well, their defensive coordinator is the guy that, pushed me out of wherever, Carolina, I think, or whatever. And then he said, some other things about them. I like it that he just puts it out there. There's no lying. There's no, I'm going to tell you when I got something in my tank for them. Yeah, you darn right I do. And what about Aaron Glenn on that block field goal running up? Thought he was in. What do you call that when you're in front of the band and you got the old?
Oh yeah, the drum major.
Drum major. He looked like a drum major going down the sideline.
He looked like that. Or you remember Merton Hanks, the cornerback for the 49ers?
Yes. Yeah.
That long neck, and he would do that.
When he do that, yeah.
Like, what is he doing? He talk about celebrating a little too early.
A little early there, no doubt.
Oh man. So, but no, dude, listen. I mean, I love Baker Mayfield. All that he went through in Cleveland and Carolina, and man, I just really like the way he plays. It was a meme, and it was an X-ray of his chest, and inside it is a dog. He's got a dog in there, So I think I'm gonna start rooting for the Buccaneers. Screw it.
Pittsburgh won again. We still don't know. What Aaron
we don't
Rodgers
know who they are.
Offense, here's something that Packer fans, and they're going to go, how can you be a Packer fan and say something like this? But I think the best damn coach in the NFL is Kevin O'Connell up there in Minnesota.
Man,
how can you take Carson Wentz, who is just horrible, and have him play like he did yesterday? Oh, my God, he's horrible.
No. Come on, man.
Just horrible. And O'Connell, look at what he did. I mean, just amazing job he does up there. And I'll tell you, they're going to be tough to beat in our division. So I don't know. Like I said, you look at all the teams. Heartbreak loss, I think, for the Rams. The Rams had the Eagles on the ropes. They let it get away from them. Trying to think of some of the other games that I watched. Tonight we have the Ravens and Lions.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if the Ravens played like they did, what was it, last week against the Browns or whatever? Was it Browns? They're not going to. The Lions will beat them because, but they got to come out and play too. Henry, he's got to run the ball, so they got to get him rolling. So that's going to be tonight's game. I forgot who's Thursday night. Now that I'm thinking about it, but
Thursday night. Let's see. I can look that up right quick. Let's see. But we'll see. Every season, they talk about how Lamar Jackson, oh man, MVP candidate. He's another one of those guys, man. It's like, well, he doesn't quite make it all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets close.
Yep.
The Thursday night game is Seattle versus Arizona.
Oh, that'll be a good game.
It'll be a good game, yeah. But man, the Lions, I still, you know what? I love Dan Campbell and I like the way he coaches. And we'll see though. I mean, these teams that have lost their coordinators, like the Eagles, they lost their offensive coordinator. The Lions lost theirs. How are they going to adjust? Was it the coach or was it the coordinator? So we'll see. I think the Lions are going to take that one. But, it's kind of the way I feel about the Ravens, like I said. They get close, they get to the playoffs, but they haven't made and done anything. Every season Lamar is in the MVP conversation. But they can't really close the deal. So.
Well, that'll be tonight. And then, like I said, we're concentrating on what did your Louisiana team do? I forgot to ask you.
Oh, boy. So we went up to Eastern Michigan, Yaplansky. I think that's how you say it.
Okay.
And lost.
You lost there too?
Oh, yeah. We were running the ball well, doing everything, that you should do. And I don't know, man, the wheels kind of fell off. We have 4 of our offensive linemen that are injured now that were starters. Yeah, we lost 34-31. It was a close one. But, man, it's bright side is we start conference play next week against Marshall. And, conference play, that's when you really want to hopefully get some things together. We've got our preseason out of the way. Would it have been great if we'd have been 3-0 at this point? Yeah. But the first step to winning the conference is winning your first conference game. And it's against Marshall. And I don't know if you heard this about Marshall, but we played them in our conference championship last season. And we lost to them. So Marshall won the Sun Belt. The next day, their head coach was fired and was hired at Southern Miss. Your old boy, Brett Favre's alma mater.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Basically,
did Brett
all
help
of those players
to
transferred. I'm sure he did.
Okay.
I'm sure he did. So all of those players transferred to Southern Miss. So basically, Southern Miss is Marshall South now.
Okay.
And Marshall, they've, let's see, they're a little bit depleted, I guess, as far as that goes. But, let's see what they are right now. So, they're always tough, I go back to Marshall and, you think about Pennington and you think about Randy Moss and all those cats. Yeah. So, it's going to be a tough game, man. I mean, it's never easy when you get into conference play, and that's what we got, man. And I don't know, man.
My Wisconsin Badgers, I was going to tell you, they stink too. The Badgers stink. Luke Fickell is still a great coach. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know what's going on there. They haven't been able to recruit. And I have an opinion on that recruiting. a very big opinion. That's not going to be a very, very good opinion for anybody in Wisconsin. So I'm going to hold it to myself. But I got to show you a picture that's going around the internet since yesterday afternoon. Now, I'm going to ask you, it's a picture of the athletic director of Wisconsin. Okay. I don't know if you saw this or not. Did you?
No, I did not.
All right. Well, take a look at this picture, and I'm going to ask you to tell me what they're talking about. Okay. So two people in the picture. One is Wisconsin's athletic director, Chris McIntosh, who's a UWGB alum. He played, but he's also an athletic director now. So I'm hoping this shows up because I don't have it on the computer because I'm not that smart how to put everything in the computer yet with the stream.
You're a smart guy.
But here we go. I'm going to let you see if you can see this or not, and just give me what you think is going on with the talking.
Oh boy, I think that dude's just wanting to get some more food. I think he's just want more hot dogs and maybe some side pork.
Do you think maybe he's sitting there telling Chris, I watched every game for the last 5 years of the Wisconsin Badgers.
Of course.
I watched every game, Chris. Every game.
That next job, man.
Every play I've watched. This is what you need to do. Yeah. Mike McCarthy's going to come back and be a Wisconsin Badger coach. How do you like that, everybody?
All the NFL coaches are going back to college, getting a hot girlfriend. And,
So how's it going for Bill Belichick? What do you got to say about that?
Man, they don't have a really – I think they're through the toughest part of their schedule, So far, okay, they lost TCU, obviously. Then they beat UNC Charlotte. Okay, great. Then they beat Richmond. Okay. But they do have and then they lost this past weekend to UCF, right, which is a tough game. So they're 2-2. But here's the deal. They got Clemson next. But Clemson's not that good.
Falling apart. Yeah, they're falling apart.
So maybe Belichick gets on the right side of it. But him being there, I think, is set up perfectly for Nick Saban to come out of retirement and join that coaching staff.
There you go.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be fun. And everybody, everybody's going to, hit me up, and they're going to say, well, if you don't like LaFleur, who are you going to pick as the next coach of the Packers? Well, I got a couple. So one is a crazy move, but if he gets done with all the suing of the NFL, put Gruden in that Green Bay Packer spot with Ed Policy as the head guy. Man, I tell you
what, if you want to talk about these NFL coaches that might go back to college, he's another one, dude, at Florida. My boy Billy Napier. Oh, man, I want him to do so well, and I know he misses Lafayette, but, boy, he is struggling.
Tell you, if they keep losing at Lafayette, he might be heading back there.
Man, I mean, take him back. We'll take him back. Come on now. And
then
get this. DeZarmo, the head coach now, wouldn't get fired. Just go back to what he was doing before. That's all we got to do.
And then the other guy I would put in the Packers position is a guy at Iowa State, Matt Campbell. I think he's done enough to be an NFL coach. And he knows the offensive side and he knows the defensive side. So I think those are two guys. But if you want to put the NFL on their ears, get Gruden. Let him come in.
Oh, yeah. And who else is on the hot seat already?
Who's that?
Callahan in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, Callahan in Tennessee. But does he really have the players too? I mean, I don't think that organization helped him much.
That organization hasn't made a good first-round draft pick in the past 15 years.
Right.
They've looked good, starting with Vince Young, and then Mariota and Locker, and as an organization, Jeff, the insanity definition. I mean, it's obvious, and I felt this way, and I could be completely wrong because what do I know? But I didn't think Cam Ward was that great of a quarterback to get as a first-round pick. We've seen the past with the Titans, a first-round quarterback doesn't help your situation. Let's use the draft capital and build a team around whatever quarterback you have. Right. There's plenty of veterans. I mean, Will Levis got hurt, but there's some veterans out there that you could build a team around. And then you're building a beautiful new stadium that's going to be open in a couple of years. You know what? Why not build for when you get into that new building that you got a solid team? I don't think now you're putting the cart before the horse because you got Cam Ward, but nobody to protect him. And you run the risk of that quarterback getting gun shy and ruining his career. How many first-round drafted quarterbacks have we seen that have been thrown into a starting role and they've been ruined?
There's been a lot.
Callahan still maintains that. He still maintains that they're going to build around him and he's going to get better and all this. But what if he gets hurt? You know, because you don't have an offensive line. You don't really have a good running game. You don't have anything. Like, I watched some of that game, and you want to talk about penalties, offsides, false starts. It's discipline. And they were talking about on the broadcast that Callahan's trying everything, going to the extent of what you would do to a sixth grade basketball team. When someone makes a mistake, the rest of the team does push-ups. So if you commit a false start or an offsides or whatever, you watch the rest of the team do push-ups. Okay, so we're just going back to grade school on that. I don't know if that's going to work.
He's second year, isn't he?
Because he's going into his third now.
Third year? Okay. Well, then it should start turning.
Starting his third.
Like I said, you need help with the organization.
But, you kind of get a pass when you get a pass, I think, and that's what they're going to do probably because Amy Adams, Strunk, they're just going to give everybody a shot. You know, right. Oh, well, we had a rookie quarterback. We'll give him a couple more years. And then next thing you know, you just ruin that guy and you're back to drafting first. You know who else is terrible? And I'm not at all picking on them. The Saints are not very good.
But I think your boy will turn them around.
I don't know if the Coonasses are going to have the patience for it because they're used to Drew Brees. They're used to Sean Payton. Right. They're not going to be used to – they're going to be getting bags out. I guarantee they lose another game. The bags are coming out. And that's what Saints fans are. They are quick to jump off the bandwagon. Or, as we call in Louisiana, the pirogue. Have you heard what a pirogue is?
No.
It's a little boat. It's a little boat that you just push down the bayou. They're going to be quick to jump off that pirogue. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I'll tell you another team to watch, though, and this is all serious. San Diego Chargers. Again, Harbaugh going out there. The guy can coach. The guy can get the right people to help him coach. And that quarterback is looking really good. Herbert's looking really good. Really good.
Man, I've always liked him. And you know what?
Yep.
He started as a rookie, and he had several different coaches, several different offensive coordinators. But I think with Harbaugh, he's really finding, and he's been coming along as of late, even though he's had different coaching staffs and stuff like that. But man, I liked Herbert coming out of college. You know, he's the prototypical QB that you want, you know, and I hope they do well too. I think that's good with the Cowboys sucking because I get to pay attention to other teams that actually watch teams that are good.
And the 49ers, Mac Jones, 49ers too, and Mac Jones.
Quiet 3-0. Holy moly.
You know, winning the close games that the Packers should have been winning, but
yeah,
I don't know.
And then, you know what? I like the Bills.
Yeah. Me too. Look, I bought it just for you.
Why is it orange?
That's the new NFL thing. I don't know what it is. But I got all of them. I got all 32 teams like this.
Who gave those to you?
Well, it's going to be our sponsor next week. You'll have to wait.
All
right, let's wrap this up. Yeah. Let's wrap this up and tell me your prediction for Sunday with Packers, Cowboys.
Cowboys are going to lose. And I'm not doing any reverse psychology here.
Okay.
Yes. I don't feel good about this game at all. And even if CD plays, he won't be 100%. I think unless the Packers have a complete
meltdown,
disemboweling, dude,
yep.
I don't see us being able to stop anyone or score. Because if CD doesn't play, the only way CD plays, he's used as a decoy because he won't be 100%.
Right.
And I think, I mean, maybe I'm going, I don't think I'm going out on a limb here. We're due for a George Pickens meltdown, and it could be in the game.
Myself, I'm going with the Packers.
Has a career.
Myself, I'm going to go with the Packers on this. But if the Packers do lose,
yeah,
I'll let everybody join the bandwagon with me and say LaFleur needs to be gone. That's my
I don't know if they get it. It's too early in the season. Even though the Packers would lose, they're not going to make that move.
Well, I hope they do. That if they get beat by the Cowboys, he should be fired. Is my opinion on that. So, all right, and the only the only other thing I have for you today is that the Brewers won the Central Division in the National League, and but now we got some pitching, very unhealthy pitching going on. But hey, made it to the dance. That's all you got to do. Sometimes make it to the dance. You never know what can happen. And
you just got to get in, man.
Got to get in.
My Astros are still. They haven't clinched anything yet. They're behind the Mariners, but they'll probably get in.
So they had a rough time against the Mariners here over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they should have probably. That was the chance for them to
gain something.
Yeah, and possibly clinch, but they didn't. Right. But I think they're going to. It's I'm not really a baseball guy. This is the time of the year that I get interested in baseball.
Right.
And when I was pulling out my Baker Mayfield jersey, I grabbed my Astros jersey. So maybe I'll put that on next week. Maybe they'll clinch next week, and we could talk about that. Because I don't think we have much to talk about with the Cowboys.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week at 1 o'clock. We're going to have it all set up to go, and we're going to be right the first time we go next week. When we turn it on, everything's going to be working.
Yeah.
Again, your sponsors, tell everybody, and make sure everybody, Tracy, when you get on your Facebook and you get on your Instagram and you get on your whatever else you have, you tell them to like and share the YouTube. Like and share the YouTube. It's very important that people do, because we got to get that all going so people find us and then they can watch. All right.
Yes, I'm telling you, I really think that we could enter and be on the pro pickleball tour, you and I.
Real quick. I went out and I actually practiced at the Brussels Town Park.
How'd it go?
Just hit a couple of them. I had to keep my
paddle
racket. Yep, I had to keep it up. But
don't call it a racket, it's a paddle.
It's a paddle. All right. So I was keeping the paddle up and I was hitting the ball. What do you call the ball?
Pickleball.
That's
just a ball.
I was hitting the pickleball. I was hitting it. And I think that I could be around the old kitchen and just hitting them. That's just me.
Judging from the way you look, I think you love the kitchen. So it'll be great.
See? Exactly.
See? You're a natural. You like the kitchen.
Oh, boy. Talk about a guy that just continues to pick. Maria says to you every week, be nice to Jeff.
She hasn't lately, though.
I'll remind her that she needs to remind you again. All right. Well, you have a good week. Anything going on this week?
Yeah, man, I got some gigs. I got one Thursday and one Saturday with Mario May. I played with her a couple of times. A good female singer, man. A lot of that 90s country, but the female stuff. So it's really cool to be jumping into that.
All right. Nothing going on with your boss till next month?
No, sir. Not till next month.
He's got a TV show coming up. What's that all about?
It's another one of those vocal competition things, but they actually film this in venues, and the contestants are opening for Keith Urban. And I'm not sure how it's going to work. how they vote people on or off or whatever. But it seems pretty interesting. Seems like a cool concept.
All right. We'll see what happens with that. So next week, 1 o'clock Central Time, 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock on the left coast. And we'll hopefully have everything going good for the Packers. I know that means that it won't be going good for the Cowboys, but hey, one more week bad for the Cowboys and get it going the week after. That's okay.
Jerry says they're a playoff team. We'll see.
Playoff team. Jerry said it. All right. You have yourself a good week.
Jerry said it. It's true. All right, brother. You too.
All right. Love you, man. Take care. Talk to you soon.